Hi guys, welcome back. So I've had a fun couple of days. I managed to slip down the stairs. I smashed my ankle into the wall. So no running club for me for the next 2 weeks, and I put my tooth through my lip. So if I lisp, if I dribble in this video, I apologize in advance. The dog's on the mend, so I decided to throw myself down the stairs whilst I was changing our bedding. Yes, I was sober before anybody jokes about it. I think if I had have been drunk, I would have bounced and not hurt myself. So just a tip from me to you guys, if any of you are changing your bedding, I suggest you have a couple of glasses of wine before you do, just in case. Now, I was going to speak about the Princess of Wales latest autumn video, but I've decided tomorrow we're having a bumper Princess of Wales video. It's going to be everything Catherine. So on this video, I need to get out the toxic duo. Let's get them out of the way because they're not going to feature in my Catherine video. These two desperados have had more than enough attention lately. So you'll probably ask the question, well, why are you going to do a video about them? Well, because the attention that they've had over the course of the last week is definitely worth talking about because none of it is really good. You think with yesterday's video, like I told you, Harry with the forgery. Now, it's not Harry, it's his legal team, but you don't know how much he's involved. Now, obviously, he will wipe his hands of it. The moment that people started criticising him, saying about him trying to use Catherine and William as evidence in his case, you know, he got a story out there straight away saying that his lawyer went behind his back. I'm not so sure his lawyer did, but of course, if anything does come of this and we find out that some of the other witness statements are in fact forged, as well as Gavin Burrows, according to him, then Harry will obviously say, I knew nothing, it wasn't me, because this is Harry's MO. Honestly, you do think, though, you do have a moment where you think, you've just been caught out in the last few days of being involved with potential forgery in your court case. You know, it's not like Harry and Meghan haven't been in trouble with judges and court cases before, you know, destroying evidence, all sorts of things, really. But then you've been called out because you've lied about the Kardashians. It wasn't just the fact that they asked for the photos to be posted, they pulled the photos. They lied about Kris Jenner and Kim Kardashian having a consent form. They tried to make out to the public sphere that the Kardashians breached their privacy, right? So that's not going to be easily forgotten. Harry and Meghan continue to lie. They have been caught out so many times. I think most of us have completely lost count. And Harry has just been called out by the palace for telling another lie. Now, this all centres around Harry going to Toronto and timing his visit to land smack bang on Prince William's appearance for the Earthshot Prize. Harry, of course, was furious at the accusations that he could dare do such a thing and deliberately clash his diary with his brothers. You know, he's done it for 4 years straight with the Earthshot Prize. But this year, no, everybody must be wrong. Everybody's against poor little Harry. But he said that he had told the palace of his visit. The palace were aware of it. Well, this is where it has, I'd imagine, shocked Harry and Meghan. Not only did the Kardashians decide that they were going to fight back about them lying to do with the consent form, well, the palace has decided, do you know what? Never complain, never explain. Doesn't work with these two, and they have come out through official sources and they've revealed to the media that Harry did not clear his diary and his trip with Buckingham Palace or Kensington Palace. A spokesman said that's actually a bit rum for Harry to even suggest such a thing. If Harry's team did send it, nobody at either palace received it. Funny that. It's a bit like Harry saying, of course I didn't time it. Of course I would never do such a thing. I really care about remembrance. That's why he was there visiting the veterans. Yet on Remembrance Sunday and Armistice Day, not a peep. The only thing we had from Harry was that letter that he decided to release where he backtracked on his love of the UK and having banter. Sorry, Harry, that nobody believed. I believe Harry told this lie because, one, Obviously, there was backlash, so Harry goes straight away. I must put a statement, I must rectify this, let's just tell a fib. And secondly, the reason why I believe that Harry said that the palace were aware is because it makes it sound like that the palace actually validated it, that the king was happy for it to go ahead, that Harry had sought permission in a way. He's trying to steamroll, he's trying to gaslight people into believing that he's still a working royal. What better than a Commonwealth country where his father is head of state? And Harry obviously went and paid a visit to the Queen's Own Rifles and the Canadian Royal Regiment. Harry uses his position as founder of the Invictus Games to get access to the military. And I'm sorry, if he's going to continue to weaponize that to get one over his family, then he needs slapping down, not just by the royal family, but also the Invictus Foundation. It's bad enough that he has turned it into the Harry and Meghan show, but to now try and use it to compete in some sort of PR battle against our royal family, it shouldn't be allowed. The veterans deserve more. It's obvious what Harry and Meghan are trying to do. They are trying to compete with the Prince and Princess of Wales. And as we know, there is no competition, but it must be very, very irritating for the royal family with these two constantly playing games. And this is why I definitely support the thought of their dukedom, Harry's dukedom, being removed, especially when he's going to get himself involved in the political arenas as well. But this is exactly why Meghan has changed the date of her Netflix holiday special. It was meant to air at the end of November, but now it's airing smack bang on the day that the German state visit appears. So obviously you'll have the Prince and Princess of Wales, the King and Queen. It's all timed on purpose. And in another news story that has come out that proves that these two are absolutely obsessed with trying to compete. When Harry and Meghan were last in New York together, they were seen coming out of this restaurant. They apparently had bumped into Ed Sheeran, but it turns out that they had also arranged for a dinner for people to come, and Lord alone knows what they discussed. But one person who was in attendance, who was invited by the couple, was a celebrity psychic. Presumably not one of the psychics that told Kim Kardashian that she would pass the bar, but the fact is that Harry and Meghan are courting psychics. Why? Because Meghan gets to cosplay Princess Diana again, who was close, I believe, with one particular psychic. She used them, it was reported. So of course Meghan naturally wants to speak with psychics, and this was all part of the psyche that she used, I think, to trap Harry emotionally in the beginning. Let's not forget Meghan putting her hands on Diana's tombstone so she could communicate with her and receive guidance, and just happened to wait until Harry had snuck up behind her, pretending that he wasn't there as she communicated with her deceased would-be mother-in-law. She plays some of the most sickest games, honestly, but this is how I believe she managed to twist that boy's noodle. Well, as for their dinner date with this celebrity astrologer, Angela Pearl, the only reason it's come out now is because she uploaded a thank you and a photograph with Harry and Meghan. I mean, that timing's a little bit odd considering the hoo-ha that has been created over Kim and Kris Kardashian Jenner posting photographs of the couple. But it makes me think that Harry and Meghan wanted her to post this, because not only did she post the photograph of her with them, she posted a photograph of the letter that they personally wrote her on Meghan's monogram stationery, signed off with their full titles, of course. They wished Angela well and said that they hope that her family in Ukraine stays safe, and they said that they would be looking to meet her when they go to Australia, which they are looking to do. Now, obviously, Harry and Meghan wanted this released, and you've got to think to yourself, well, why would that be? Why would they now be talking about going to Australia? Well, they had this dinner with Angela in October, and in September, the Australian Prime Minister had paid a visit to King Charles, and whilst he was there having lunch with the King, he put in an official invite for the Prince and Princess of Wales to come for a visit to Australia, which was leaked to the mainstream media. And of course, the public loved the idea of it. The Australians loved the idea of it. Catherine and William doing a royal visit to Australia, potentially even taking Princes George and Louis and Princess Charlotte. They could go in the summer holidays. There was a lot of speculation. Now, whilst we haven't had an official statement confirming it, that's nothing unsurprising because they need to make all of the arrangements, security, diary planning before something like that actually gets released. So I think the two stalkers in Montecito saw the invite in the mainstream newspapers and went, let's beat them to it. And you know what? I'm here for it. Do it. Go out there, knock yourselves out. The contrast, what it will be from the two couples will be immense. Look how much Queen Camilla and King Charles, look at the crowds that came out to see them. These are crowds of people that cheer, that are happy. Harry and Meghan, unless they've got crowd control, and by that, I don't mean that they will have to beat the thousands of people away from them. I mean that they will have to control the people that are in their crowds, that only go, yay, we love you, Harry, we love you, Meghan. You know, get some squaddies over there. Because I tell you what, and I know this because some of my family are Australian, they like Harry and Meghan just about as much as we do. And the thing is that I love about Aussies, they are some of the nicest, kindest, politest people until they're not. And I think Harry and Meghan going out publicly, especially if they go out there and use Australian veterans, which they will do because it will centre around the Invictus Games, so the Invictus Foundation can then pick up Harry and Meghan's expenses under the guise of, you know, the founder and his wife are out there working. I believe that they will be booed incredibly loudly. One of the things that Harry and Meghan can't grasp is they've done it too many times and people see through their stunts now. They see exactly what they're trying to do to the Prince and Princess of Wales. There is no competition. They are not in the same league as Catherine and William. And you know what? It just makes them look more pathetic and more desperate the more that they try. So yeah, knock yourselves out. Go to Australia. I'll be sitting here with the popcorn. Now, while we're speaking of desperate, let's talk about Meghan, who is apparently desperately trying to trade in the love of one billionaire for another. And this relates to the billionaires having streaming networks. Meghan, as we know, is tightly in with Ted Sarandos, and many people have said he adores her. He thinks she's an absolute star. One would question Ted Sarandos' position in that company, really, because everything that Meghan has done has been a complete and utter flop or a disaster. The same for Harry, who most of his ideas don't even make it into the boardroom for discussion, especially if they were anything like the ones for Spotify. Ooh, Harry's going to review some hot chocolate. Won't that be lovely for everybody to listen to? But let's be real, they have been an absolute disaster for Netflix outside of that docu-series which bashed the royal family. That's their only success, okay? And Meghan is now apparently in Hollywood circles, they're talking about she's trying to schmooze Jeff Bezos. This is why Meghan has chosen her acting debut, her return to acting. She's chosen Amazon rather than Netflix to do it. And in one newspaper that I've read, sources, I believe, that worked over at Disney have said they've seen, Meghan has seen what Jeff Bezos is doing for Sydney Sweeney because he's apparently taken her under his wing. He's lining her up to be one of the first Bond girls in the new James Bond franchise that he spent millions purchasing all of the rights to. But this is Sydney Sweeney, right? She has age on her side, incredible boobs as another woman, as a straight woman, a happily married straight woman. She does have incredible boobs, okay? But she can act. Meghan is over the hill. She is by Hollywood standards by a long shot, and she's not a great actress. The only success she ever had was 138 minutes across 7 seasons of Suits. And most people have said it's because they wrote the character, Rachel Zane, around her personality. So she didn't really have to think too much. So I don't believe that Meghan is going to get Jeff Bezos's attention. And I don't think that's going to be the biggest hurdle, because I think that Meghan will never ever be able to jump that hurdle, not with her limbs attached, because of this woman, who just happens to be Jeff Bezos' lovely new wife. Bethany Frankel, who is friends with Lauren Sanchez, recently revealed on a podcast that she is a honey badger, meaning she is tenacious, she is ferocious, and I don't think Meghan's gonna get within 5 feet of Jeff Bezos to start doing her cutesy grin and the Bambi eyelashes at him. I don't think Lauren's going to like that one little bit, especially even more so because Meghan, with her hoo-ha she created over Photogate, asking for the photos to be released and then asking for them to be taken down and then lying about the Kardashians and Jenners in a consent form. I do not think at the moment that Meghan is on Lauren or Chris's Christmas card list. I do not think that Meghan will be invited to any more of Lauren Sanchez's parties. Bearing in mind, Lauren actually took the time to help organise Chris's 70th birthday party, which Meghan managed to overshadow, and it was held at her house. So no, I think that that is one hurdle that Meghan is not going to be able to jump over. But I tell you what, guys, I would certainly love to see her try. If you want an entertaining TV show, let's just put Meghan flirting in a room with Jeff Bezos and see what Lauren does. That would be entertainment in itself. Pass the popcorn, pass the wine. Just don't pass me any of the as ever wine. Anyway, guys, that's it for me on this video. Exciting news. Tomorrow, obviously, we have got the Princess of Wales video. And tonight, probably at the time that I'm editing this, she is making an appearance with her gorgeous husband at the Royal Variety Show. This means glitz, glamour, and maybe a new Jenny Packham gown. And I can't wait. See you soon. Bye.